Now to Colin, can you share what control strategies can be implemented to use UV technology safely?
Yeah, there are a number of different strategies, and it will depend on the UVC application, what band you're using, different things like that. But they all kind of fall into three buckets. And the first one's mechanical standpoint. So Ron talked about ox sensor. So that's a physical component. That's a device that's looking for that space to be occupied. There's different technologies behind that. The most common is called passive infrared. That's looking for body heat. That usually requires a large motion, so someone walking through a space for that to be seen. One caveat to that is it's line of sight only. So depending on your application, whether it might be education, corporate, healthcare, things like that, you could have things in the space that could prevent passive infrared from seeing you. So partitions, cubicles, things like that. There's other technologies that can work for sensors to get around those caveats. So we have what's called microphonics. That's listening for sound in the space. So someone might be in the space, we physically can't see them, but the system can pick up the noise they're creating and knowing that that space is occupied. A third one is called ultrasonic. It basically uses the Doppler principle. It's using inaudible sound waves on a very low bandwidth, and that's bouncing off the walls. When it hits a motion, something moving, it actually will modify the sound wave coming back at a new frequency. So again, that's another technology where we can see that that space is being occupied or not without having someone to physically be in the space. Second is the human aspects. It's the sequence of operations. It's how you utilize that system. We always want to make sure we're not always relying just on mechanical standpoints. You know, devices can fail. So having someone walk the space before activating that irradiation process, that's another way to confirm it's occupied. And then finally, education, training the people in that space of what this system is. This technology is new from a mainstay type of point of view. It's been around for a long time, but most of us haven't seen it in standard applications. So training the people in the space of what the system is, how to use it correctly, some of the dangers behind it, and just making sure they're familiar with what's actually there, not catching them off guard from that standpoint. I think if you use all those three together, all applications can be done safely as long as you have the right technology and then right sequence of operations of how to use it for that specific application.